All right, good morning, everyone. Just letting you know the reason why I'm joining 5 minutes late this morning is because there's a lot of activity. So I'm going to show it to you, especially on gold, which is I'm watching very closely. So my head's going to be whipping back and forth. Hopefully, no one else gets whiplash like I may here. But there's a lot going on, and that's what I'm monitoring, and that's what I'm watching. And I've got in and out of a few trades up $60 this morning. So just going to watch what's going on and I'll share with you. So we're going to start like we always do here by looking at our fundamentals. All right, so let's go over here. Let me share my screen. Okay, let's go over here. It's kind of a quiet day. So quiet day here. Actually, you know what? Does not look like my screen. There it is. Now it's sharing. All right, so today is Wednesday. So we have Fed Governor Michael Barr's speech and then minutes of Fed's May FOMC meeting. So great. Not a lot of news there. Let's go over to Forex Factory. Okay, refresh this so that it's current. Okay, so if we look in here, again, focus on Euro. Okay, yellow folder there. Core CPI pretty much right on par with projections, nothing big there. There's the FOMC member Bar speaks. That was at 9:15. Crude oil inventories come out in 6 minutes, 57 seconds. So it was negative 4.3. We're expecting negative 2.5 million. Actual less than forecast is good for the currency. Okay, so we're looking something lower than that. It's a change in the number of barrels of crude oils held in inventory by commercial firms during the past week. Be curious to see what this number is, especially with the Gulf War and everything that's been going on, to see how much we are actually getting rid of and how many other countries now coming to us to get oil, since we have, well, since Venezuela. Let's leave it at that. So we have the meeting minutes here at 2 p.m. The FOMC meeting minutes. That's a red folder. Reason why we care, again, that's just drilling a little further. More than hawkish than expected is good for currency. This happens 8 times a year, 3 weeks after the Federal Reserve funds rate is announced. Okay, so here's what's going on. It's a detailed record of the FOMC's most recent meeting, providing in-depth insights into the economic and financial conditions that influence their vote on where to set interest rates. All right, there's a lot of talk about interest rates. There's a change with Warsh coming in. So how is that going to impact things with him replacing Powell? We'll see. But a lot of people have a lot of opinions. What really matters is actually what happens. I really could care less about what a bunch of people's opinions are, although some I listen to more than others. Reason being, speculation and emotions are the only things that impact the market. So that's why I care and that's why I'm paying attention. But quite frankly, I pay attention to results as my primary driver. It's served me well in life and I stick to it. All right, let's go to FinViz real quick. Go over to FinViz. Here's what we see. Stocks rise before NVIDIA's earnings as oil falls. Market wrap. Okay, can Venezuela rebuild infrastructure? Barney Frank, Gabe Pioneer. No, that's not impacting anything here. S&P rises, oil falls. Same story. Nothing huge there. Same stories across the board. All right, let's see. Yeah, this is something you want to read a little bit more into. I'm not going to dive into it right now, but warns U.S. against new Iranian strikes. Yeah, how does our president respond to warnings and threats? Pretty much in the most adverse reaction. So we'll see what happens there, if diplomacy prevails or if playground logic kicks in. Or if there's a lot more to it, which there likely is behind the scenes, and there's just a strategic plan, and this is all just posturing. So we will see. All right. I could care less about why Trump pays in taxes, because he should be paying nothing because he's smart and he understands how to leverage the tax code, which a lot of people, as you get wealthier, and if you're not well invested and well aware of that yet, then shame on you. You are the ignorant one, and you have the ability to improve that. You just got to get in touch with the right people and surround yourself with the right people so you're paying less than taxes. Taxes absolutely kill the middle class because no one does everything except just pay it. You have to learn how to get involved in assets. Not a story for today, but that's why you're getting killed on your taxes. If you are, it's your fault. you need to get educated and become aware. I've been a victim too, where I was getting killed on taxes because of my own ignorance. So I drew a line in the sand, and that's not going to happen going forward. But yeah, I understand. But I'm telling you, once you start opening up and learning, it's where vehicles like this can really come in and have a major impact in your life. So quickly going off, sorry to go on that little tangent, but it's an important thing that people understand. He's not a bad guy because he's paying less than taxes. It's not just him, it's anyone who has money. People aren't bad guys because they pay less than taxes. They just know how to leverage the system better, and they have better advisors, and they're paying money for that counsel. And they've understood that through assets and depreciation, there are ways to significantly minimize the amount of taxes that you're paying by leveraging the right systems. Legally, by the way, might I add, 100% legal. So mortgage rates in the US continue to rise. Continue to rise. 30-year fixed for 806. Let's see, 10 basis points to 6.56. Okay. It was 6.46. Treasury yields hover near recent highs. Okay. So again, nothing earth-shattering here, getting back into trading. All right, so see these couple big candles here. We have this and this. I got in on this, and I rode this up a little bit. But right now, what I'm watching is I'm watching this closely. So on the 4-hour, okay, so this once again came into this daily demand zone down here, and now I wanted to see what it did off this back wall, and it went off the back wall, and I kept on pushing down through to this demand zone. So this now, because that closed inside, this is going to flip to a demand zone. Flipped one. Okay. And not on the 1 hour because I'm on the 4-hour. So let me go back and change that to a 4-hour demand zone, flipped one. Okay. So this is just what I'm watching right now. So what I'll do, first of all, look, the RSI is pointing up. It's below 50. It's above Jerome. Let's go up to the daily. Daily is moving up. The target line is right here for the day. So that's something I want to pay attention to, but I want to see what resistance is in front of it right now to see what it's going to really hit. And I don't see a lot here. Don't see a lot here. Don't see a lot here. See a little bit there. We get the 200 on the 15-minute. So that's something we want to watch. But right now, see, this is point. Let's go all the way down, all right? 1 minute, just take a quick peek. Okay, you can see it's going up and down and up and down. It's consolidating a little bit. It had a bullish movement. Now it is literally just a retest. And now it's just in a consolidated environment. That's on the 1 minute. 3 minute, similar. Bullish rise. And now it's pushing up again. And you can see RSI's up. RSI's up. I actually just jumped in on this because all my RSIs are up. And I'm going to try to take it to the target point or to this 20. Okay, so I'm up 15. It's down 17, 20. Let's see. Here, you guys want to see what's going on? It's a live trade. I'm going to move it over so you can watch what I'm looking at. Okay, so this is a 0.05 lot. You guys can see this is a live trade. Okay, so let me zoom out a little bit. We got a 66. That's the line of resistance right there. I'm good with $50 right now. I'm getting out because I want to get back to this podcast. But thank you. As you can see right here, 49.25, and I had 49.60 before that. So that's my last two trades this morning. All right, put this back over here. So for the day now, what are we at? We are up again, my goal right now is 250 plus per day. I've been doing it, full transparency, like 1 day a week. And some days I've had mine. I'm up 107.28 today. So there've been days where I have been down a few bucks, days have been up a few bucks. Yesterday was like an $8 win day. I made some good decisions and a couple of okay ones. Oh, this is pushing through. This is gonna hit the target. Let's see. I bet you it's gonna bounce. Let's see, is it gonna bounce off that? Let's also look here in the volatility index. Volatility should be, yes, falling. It's always inverse. It's almost always inverse of gold. Okay. NAS should also be doing whatever gold's doing. So NAS should be rising. Yes. Okay. So NAS is rising as well. As NAS rises, so does gold. Are we gonna, yeah. Okay. We're not there yet. Let me go back to gold because I don't trade NAS right now. But it's important to understand. Let me go back over here to the 4-hour. What kind of structure do we have above? So resistance line and base right there. I'm going to actually move this down to here. All right, so we have the target. We also have the 20 for the moving average right there, and we're going to watch it come back down. We're going to see what's going to happen. All right, so that's gold. Let's take a look again. We'll start with the daily. Let's zoom out so everyone can kind of see what's going on. So we marked up our previous candles, marked up supply zones, demand zones, pivot point, and daily target. Those are the things that I mark up in the morning. And then resistance lines, support lines, and that's just so I have my structure for the day or on the daily. I'll go down to the 4-hour. This was already previously marked up this morning as well. You can see this right here at the 50-point line on this daily demand zone. Literally, both of these candles bounced off the daily, the 50% line of this daily demand zone. This last candle came down, almost touched it, and then pulled back up. Candle before came down, hit the front wall, and then came back up. So those are things that we're monitoring there. Again, right here, I'm expecting this. If it does push up, to see how it's going to test this 20 moving average. If it hits the 20, it'll probably bounce off. If not, we're going to look to see this resistance line or this demand zone, especially the front wall. Try to see how it bounces off that. But let's just monitor this right now. Let's try to get some different information as well, so we can try to see are there any other points of resistance that it's facing right now. So, yep, right here, 2-hour demand zone. We're right at like the 50% mark right now. So this actually would have been flipped right here. This was a demand zone. When that candle went down, this got flipped to a 2-hour support line. So we're going to change that. There we go. 2-hour support line. So taking a look right here, how this is going to react. It keeps on pushing up right now, but we're just going to monitor that. We're right at about the 50% mark of that demand zone, that supply zone, excuse me. We're going to go down to the 1-hour. Again, we have a supply zone right here. So this is hitting that. That's also going to be a strong, strong reason why we're going to get a lot of resistance right now. So we have this 1-hour supply zone right above, and like this candle stopping just before it, and now it's pulling back. Let's see, is the volatility index increasing at all? It's pulling back, it's increasing. Okay, again, this is not coincidental. This is how they work. So this is a little premature for me to jump in personally, although it is something that I'm going to watch because I think this is potentially a very strong point to jump in and take the sell. But I'll take a short sell. Let's see what happens. Again, I'll show you live again. I'm actually going to split screen this. Move this off to my left. Move this off to my right. All right, so I do want to set the stop loss, and I want to set it just inside. So we got in at 45.22. It's a sell, so we're going to want it just below. So 45. Yeah, not yet. But I'm just showing you this is what it looks like. This is how fast gold moves. See, this is 420. It's yeah. So I'm anywhere I'm fluctuated from -6 to up $6, up $7, $8. This is on a 0.05 lot size. So again, just observe that number in the lower right. I'm going to minimize this so we can focus on the chart. I'm going to drop back down to a lower. Oh, so you're up 17. There we go. 20. Okay. The 3 hour just called Einstein did a sell. Einstein just called it. So we already jumped in. We were in advance of that. We're going to focus on TP2 here. There it is. It keeps on coming back in and out. All right. So what's this line right here? I'd love to see what that is. You see this right here? This is what we're talking about. See how it can fluctuate on both sides quickly? It moves fast. And again, this is only a 0.05 lot size. And this account only has $138 in it. So we're playing with a small account and we're playing with a small balance. And TP2 right here, 45.14. That's at least what we're going for, if not 45.06. So I'm going to set it to TP3, 45.06, 83. I'm going to set the stop loss to 45.20. Okay, you can see we're up 30 right now, up $30. Going to watch this live. 36. If I can get this thing over 50, I'm be happy. I also might get out if I see it moving in the opposite direction, although it's about to hit 2. I got to trust my data. I trust that this is going to hit TP2. If not, it'll hit my stop loss and I'll get out at 45.20. There it is. So it pulled back and I got out at my stop loss of 45.20, which was a profit of not a lot. I hit the wrong button. That's from last. Okay. $6.60. Not a lot, but I'll take it. $6.66 win. And the one before that was $11.80. So there's an additional 1840, sorry. So again, I'm going to minimize this, but this is what we're doing. We're taking a look at our information, especially on gold. I wanted today for you guys to see some live trades and how we're moving in and out of the market. Today's going to end up being a shorter podcast because I'm going to show you what I'm doing on Euro quickly. Where is she? Give me a minute. I'm going to put this screen back over here so I'm back on my individual screen so I can keep active in the trades. By the way, good call here because I believe this is rising. Yep, good call to get out when I did. All right, so on Euro USD, where is my... All right, I'll share this in a moment. Okay. Oh, I hit my target. Wow. So I'm trying to hit 1.16270 on Euro. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at for my day is my 270. So if I take a look over here, so this is right about where I'm looking to go today. Right around here, this resistance line. All right, so we're going to monitor that. Right now, just again, watching and waiting for the right times to get in. On this one, I'm not doing anything right now. Let me check this one. Did this one? Yes, that one's out. So one on that trade from this morning, and I walked away from it, set it, and it hit and it won. So that's fine. I'm gonna go back to gold because that's where I'm active right now because there's a lot of moving. That's again, we're gonna go back over to the 1 hour. So we can see it coming up on this wall again. Okay, so we have the 66, which is the line of resistance, and then we have the front wall of the supply zone. So again, just monitoring how it's behaving right there. If I go down 45-minute, look what's happening here. It's bouncing right at that 66. So that 66 is a resistance line. Okay, so is that how strong has that resistance line been historically? If we look back over here, it's held, slightly pushed through. So right here, Monday at 9:30 was the last time it really kind of, well, 2:45 a.m. between 9:30 and 2:45, but the last two times that 66 has really been closed above. Right now, that line's holding pretty solid. So again, just watching this, looking for opportunities to get in. I want to see a little bit more structure and confirmations personally. I mean, I'm tempted to get in right here, but this is something that has actually hurt me in the past is looking at minimal confirmations or seeing what I think is going to happen. And what I think is going to happen is often right, but I've also had some unnecessary losses. And right now, as I mentioned, I am up for the day with those two recent trades. Let's see. $125.68. So I'm halfway to my goal. Okay, it's 10:40 in the morning. I'm halfway to my goal for the day. I want these. This goal is going to increase dramatically, but for the time being, I just want to consistently win. And if I can consistently win and profit at that $250 a day mark and get to averaging about $1,000 a week on average is what I want to get to, $1,000 plus, and then we can start decisions. And I'm doing a lot right and a few things wrong, and I need to stop minimizing. I need to minimize some of the mistakes that I'm making that I'm repeating. Making a mistake once is acceptable. Repeating a mistake multiple times is just stupid, and I have been stupid at times. So I want to make sure that we keep the money, we make the money, we keep the money. Understand that part of it is going to be leveraged back into this equation. And this is how the money that we're using to trade. But I mean, if you're making $125, it's stupid to risk $125. So I've heard people say, "Oh, it's the casino's money, or it's the bank's money, or it's," no, it's your money. Once you make it, it's yours. So anything that you put back on the table that's in your pocket, you're taking it directly out of your pocket. So while for the right opportunity, I'm okay with being more risky if I can risk a lot of it because I am very confident with like 4 or 5 confirmations that everything's moving in the right direction. Like before, for example, I mentioned the RSI. If we go to the 4-hour, take a look at the RSI up above Jerome, below 50. So that's very good. This one, right? So the 2 hours right at the 50. It's actually just below. It's 50.21, 50.22. It's just above. So it's already broke through the 50. We're going to watch that to see if it continues to push up above Jerome, so that's facing up. The 1 hour, it's already pushed through the 50. It's a V correction. It's going straight up. All right, so let's watch that too, because that typically, I don't think that'll go much higher than that. A little bit higher, but I don't expect it to go that much higher. 45, a V correction as well. See this V? Okay, it's through Jerome. It's through the 50, pointing straight up. 30-minute, same thing. V through Jerome above the 50, straight up. 15-minute, same thing. But this is starting to taper off. See? So we had the V correction through the 50, through Jerome, and now right here, it's starting to taper off and consolidate in terms of the RSI. So it's gone from let's say a 1 o'clock to more of a 3 o'clock direction, which typically means consolidation. So let's just observe that, or at least temporary consolidation. But wanted us to watch that. Okay, so right here, let's take a look also at the 5-minute. I'm not going to really go below this right now, but at this correction right here, it goes up and then up and then up. It never got exhausted. It never went above 80. But as you can see, it started to taper back down, and now it's heading down towards about 4.30. So this is probably our first indication of the trend down. So a bearish trend is what we'd say. Okay, so right here, just kind of seem to stay at the 200. I kind of like that, actually. I kind of like that trend. I'm going to be early on it. I need some more confirmation, though. All right, so on the 1 hour, I have the 200. The 200 on the 15-minute right here that's holding against. How has the 200 historically held? Pretty darn strong. Besides this, these two went above, it's all been below. These two went above, this went above and came right back. It stayed below it. So that's pretty strong. Again, by the way, just to add this in one more time, we am not offering financial advice. I'm just showing you what I'm doing and showing you what we're learning and trying to help you guys understand, learn, and fall in love with trading. I mean, this is so much fun. This is just basic Forex trading. We're not doing options here. We're not doing futures. We're not trading stocks. We are simply trading Forex with the two pairs gold, which is XAU USD, and Euro USD, which is the euro versus the dollar. Okay, that's a pair. Okay, so it's the euro and dollar pair and gold and dollar pair. So just watching this to see what's going to happen. So if you look at this candle, there's 12 minutes left. Okay. So I'll be very curious to see if this is going to close below the 200, which I expect it will, and see how high it'll push before then. But let's see. And again, too, we're right at our target line for the day if we expected it to be, where we expected the price to go. So curious to see if it closes above target and above or below the 200. And this is the 200 in case anyone's wondering on the 15-minute. And again, I don't spend a lot of time on the 15-minute, but I do look at it for some evidence, especially when I'm looking for resistance as to why I'm seeing price be unable to get above or below a certain point. So I look for support or resistance on the time frames, and the 200 is a pretty strong indicator, especially as we historically look back and saw going back a few days there, price has only gone above it very shortly, a couple times in short stints on the 15-minute, probably for about 30 minutes. We had 30 minutes right here. On this one, let's see. No, that's still below. Yesterday at 3:45 a.m. to 4 a.m., between 3:45 and 4:15, 30 minutes, it was above it. That's it. And then Monday between 9:30 p.m. and 9:45 p.m., and then it was underneath it again. And then before this right here, Monday from 6 p.m. to 8:45 p.m., it was above it. Besides that, it's been low, below it. So only reason why I haven't ended this yet, this podcast today, is because I really want to watch what's this happening. I kind of want to share this with you guys so we can see what's moving. If I have a stronger trend down, as you can see, we have bullish, bullish, bearish, although it's small. And this target line is holding pretty solid as well. And look at this too. I mean, even so, you have this target line, which is right at, like we were talking about before, right at the 200. Then you have the 20 moving average on the 4 hour, which the wick hit and then bounced off of. So that's another point of resistance right now that we're monitoring. We're right at, and that 20 is right at about the 50 on this 2 hour supply zone. So there's a lot of evidence here that supports this is going to turn around and come back down. looking for engulfing candles, which I don't see. That was, but this is, they didn't pull back to here. 45-minute. That was engulfing. If that was gonna, I'd continue. So this is one thing I'll do. Like if I was looking for this candle to buy, well, this candle hasn't closed, first of all. So if this candle closes, well, it will, let me go here one more time. Okay, so if this candle closes, I like this even better. In 8 minutes, if this candle closes up here, this creates a demand zone. This will create a new demand zone. So what I'll be waiting for before I take my next buy is I'll be waiting for a pullback all the way down to at least this front wall of the demand zone, if not the 50% mark of this demand zone. Okay, so this is a good play. That's a very strong play. You know, I'll also do this and look, if it didn't create a demand zone, this candle, what I would look for, because it's engulfing. Now, again, this has to close above, but let's say this is where it ends up. So it is 45.06.023. This would be 1 point of entry. Okay, that would be my first point of entry. Personally, I'm going to wait till it comes back to here, to this 44.94.24, which is pretty much the front wall of this demand zone should it get created. But we have 7 minutes to go to see if that's what happens, but that's going to be my recommendation. So am I going to expect this to hit and come back down? And then once it closes, because this candle I expect is going to close and be engulfing. So once this candle closes, I'm going to look for the pullback to either 45.06. I'm going to wait for it to get to here, 44.94.24. Then once it does, I'll take the buy back up. But I am going to take the sell because I'm expecting it to come back down all the way back down to here or here. So I'm going to set as my take profit 44.96.24. Okay. I'm going to set a stop loss inside, basically at the 50% here of this supply zone, which is 44.34.2 is what we're going to call it. No, 45.34. Wake up. Let's see, 45. Price right now is at 45.29. Okay, so that makes more sense. 44.35. Good. All right. So we're going to watch this. Got in a little bit early there compared to how I normally do it, but I want to kind of show you guys what I'm thinking and want to be fully transparent in everything that we're doing. So I have a lot of belief that this is going to pull back to here before it pushes back up. Now, I just hope it doesn't push up too far first and come back down. But there's a lot of activity in the last 5 minutes, the last few minutes of this. So that's getting close to that. Let's see what it does. This is okay. Let's see. Let's watch. Again, this is what I'm doing. I'm watching this candle live right now to see how much this is going to push before it pulls back. Looking for a pullback sooner rather than later. Three minutes, 45 seconds remaining. And this is what we're going to end the podcast on today, is just watching this candle and watching the movements just after. The hard part here is just trusting what you see and trusting your logic and trusting your training. Because when you start to get negative 45, negative $50 on a trade, that some people just want to jump out so you don't have to deal with it and you just want to not have to, you want to minimize your loss. But everything that I've learned tells me this is what's going to happen. So again, and I'm wrong sometimes, so I could be wrong here. But just want to, again, share with you exactly what we're thinking, exactly what we're doing, so you can see what's happening live. All right, less than 3 minutes remaining on the candle. Point of notice here too, the 10 just crossed the 20 right around here. So that's a buy signal. So it's not a coincidence. So right after the 10 crossed the 20, this candle shot up. And I'm going to have to move this point for the fib. This is a basic fib template I have, which just basically identifies the 50% mark so I can know where to expect the pullback on a engulfing candle. Just something I created by just eliminating. So I have the 1, the 0, and the 50. So 0 goes at the start of the candle, 1 goes at the top of wherever the candle closes, and it'll automatically identify the 50% mark of the candle. Less than 2 minutes remaining. The tension mounts. Not a lot of movement right now. Well, there was a lot of movement, but now it's just sitting here. Okay, let's see what's it doing. I'm going to pull this down a little bit. And still, that 1 hour RSI is pointing straight up. 5 minute, again, has gone from straight up to more of like a 2 o'clock. Oh, we have okay, now we have an exhausted candle on the 5 minute. So exhausted candles indicate, that's because it's right at about 75. Exhausted candles indicate that now it's a higher probability for a faster turnaround. We're expecting a turnaround soon. 75 is kind of like the intro to that, where that gets up around 90, you're expecting it to happen almost imminently. Less than 1 minute. Less than 1 minute. Getting a pullback. Let's see what it does. Question is, will it close above the 66 in the target or not? And that wick, again, went to the back wall and kissed it. Right up here, back wall, this 1 hour supply zone. $25 seconds. See right here, here's the countdown right here. So here's the active price, and then there's how much time is left in this candle. $10 seconds. Let's see, I'm expecting a slight pullback right before it closes, but I could be wrong. I was wrong. Okay, so it also started up right away. One of the things that we've learned is once it starts up like that, it often turns right around. So I'm expecting this to turn around and come right back down. So that's another confirmation that I'm in on the right idea right here. And again, so this did create a demand zone. So we're going to mark this as a 1 hour demand zone right here. Okay. Right click, template, 1 hour demand zone. So the 50 is right here, which is 44.90, pretty much even. So our 2 points of entry are, well, there's multiple points of entry. We have 45.07 would be the first point of entry. Then we're going to look right here on this zone. So if we click on this demand zone, we're going to have 44.96.02. And then this back wall right here, which is 44.83.368. All right. So this is what I'm looking for on the entry. This is slightly up. I expect it to pull back. This is probably going to start coming down now. We will see. But you guys are going to have to watch that on your own. I apologize. I need to get back to my day. It is now 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got to get back to work. and I got to get back to my charts. So thank you everyone for joining us. Hope this was fun where we did some live trading and got you guys to see the good, the bad, the ugly currently right now. Again, I'll show you quickly so you can know what's going on. But this trade is currently in drawback and I'm negative $36, $34 right now. Okay, expecting this will be a decent win, but this is just where it is right now. And this is par for the course. This balanced now up to 152.94. And this is what's going on. So we are trading right here, and hopefully this does what I expect it to do. Let's hope nothing crazy on the fundamental side happens. But if it doesn't and everything holds, I expect this will pull back. Check in tomorrow. Thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you have a fantastic day. Again, join us on the quest here, q2am.com. It's right here, right there above me. Okay, sorry for the camera today. It's been a little bit off. My lighting is bad because my light died. So I have to replace my light. But bottom line is, join the quest, learn to do what we're doing, learn how to get independent, learn how to have a lot of fun, making a lot of money, and build a skill that will last you the rest of your lifetime. You can be 80, 90 years old doing this. This is just an opportunity and a way to make money for the rest of your life if you just learn the right strategies from the right people and learn how to be disciplined and trust your information. All right. So thank you so much. Look forward to talking to everyone soon and have a fantastic day. Thank you.